Well, howdy there. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I shall try not to look so pained on these videos, and I'm hoping that they will get a little bit better. It's always strange to start off. Anyway, day 3 in Phoenix and day 2 properly. I decided to actually have a writing day and a research day. So I hung out here at the Airbnb. And I'm not sure if you know that Mum wrote diaries about her travels, although funnily enough, they actually stopped once they got past Las Vegas, and they didn't have any in Phoenix because they were having too much fun, and that's typical Mum. But what I do have is I have scrapbooks. I have memorabilia that she had. So for example, her library card when she was here in Phoenix. So obviously that had her address on. And also ticket stubs of a play, of a theatre she went to, and then napkins from the restaurants that I mentioned yesterday, and also postcards home. She was an avid postcard writer, very much even up until she actually died. With all the traveling she did, she just loved sending postcards. And so, for example, I have one here from the Emerald Pool Lodge, which is where she absolutely loved to go, obviously to cool off from the Arizona heat. It is actually still there, but it's a spa and pool. It's about 20 miles outside of Phoenix here. I'm going to try and get there. But that's the problem about doing this on a budget, is that my budget is only really for food and accommodation and the travel around, but it's limited to what I can actually do trip-wise, because obviously it's a lot more expensive. Because when Mum was doing this, although she was on a very tight budget, there were 3 of them, so they shared the costs. And also hitching was obviously free, and they got a lot of other stuff free. And obviously that's not my case, so I'm having to do it on my budget. But anyway, aside of that, so I got a lot of research done, and I'm hopefully going to be visiting more tomorrow. And so after a day of being holed up in my Airbnb, which is lovely, I decided to go for a walk. I was recommended to go to this authentic English pub, which was about as authentic as my American accent. It was cute, very cute, but what it was cute for me as a Brit to walk in there, it looked like one of those typical American on the side of the road saloons that you go in, all beautiful wooden, decked out, and very loud Americans talking and chatting, especially the women, and the sports on the TVs and the pool. So it was not authentic. I think the only authentic thing in there, and they weren't there at the time either, so it wasn't actually authentic at all. Oh, they did have an English flag. I think that was really it. But yeah, it was. It is owned by 2 brothers and their mum. And I was hoping to actually get to speak to them, because that would have been a fascinating story to talk to them about, why they came out here when they did, and listen to their story, but of course they weren't there. So I didn't stay for a drink. I think maybe a pint of beer is probably, again, their authenticity. I don't know. Anyway, I didn't stay. And then on my way back, I got chatting to one of the neighbours here, and she was fascinating, telling me all about the irrigation here and their lawns and why they managed to get such greenery. But it's nice to learn about life here in Phoenix. And tomorrow you will get to know a little bit more, because I had another fascinating conversation. So I am certainly on, as I say, on my own journey, on my own adventures, travels. Tomorrow I'm leaving for Scottsdale, which is down the road here. So it's still technically Phoenix. And it's older, a lot older. There's actually Old Town. but I'm sure not as old as we know and love in Europe. But anyway, more tomorrow. Hope you're all well, and thank you very much for watching. If any of you have any comments or questions or suggestions or anything, please, reach out. I'd love to know. Ciao.